What's it like to supply the big two?
Well, it's challenging. I mean, they're in the enviable position of being basically people that can dictate both the price they buy from and dictate the price they sell from.
And so that relationship, has it gotten harder in your many years in this industry?
Yeah, I think it has. I think chain stores have grown in size and it's become a real duopoly, and it's been unchecked by governments. There's a real power imbalance now between chain stores and growers.
Woolworths bosses, past and present, are now forced to explain the numbers.
You'd agree that the gross margin is not a low one.
It represents a reasonable margin.
It's right that the gross margin increased as between 2023 to 2024.
And as I wasn't the CEO at the time, it might be helpful if you're able to direct the questions to Brad, given he was the CEO during this particular time period.
You'll find it very much broadly in line with good performing retailers overseas.
The federal government asked the competition watchdog to hold this inquiry as consumer rage about food prices continues.
Is it still Woolworths' position that there is a state of fierce competition in the retail grocery market?
Yes, I think it's a fiercely competitive market.
It's dominated by Woolworths and Coles, isn't it?
We are a substantial part of the market overall, which is dramatically changing.
There was a point in which Woolworths was not competitive on price, and customers were leaving Woolworths and going to Coles and Aldi.
The ACCC notes that it took German supermarket Aldi 2 decades to get just 9% of all of the supermarket sales.
I'm interested in whether you can comment as to whether the market in Australia is more or less competitive than, for example, it observes in other locations.
There are more competitors in many of the other markets.
Metcash's testimony reiterated its concerns about land banking, a tactic that Woolworths again denied. The hearings are happening as the ACCC also takes Coles and Woolworths to court, alleging they promoted fake discounts. That case couldn't be mentioned at this inquiry, but there were some curly questions about irregular shelf promotions.
And that's, as I say, shouldn't happen. I apologise to whoever took the photo.
The ACCC is hoping to get out its final report by early next year, just as a federal election could be called. Ultimately, whether anything is done about its recommendations will all come down to political will.
Peter Hall remembers the ACCC's last inquiry into the supermarket 16 years ago.
What do you think the inquiry will achieve, if anything?
Look, I'm not sure. What we really seek as growers is a system that probably gives us a lot more information about the environment we're selling our fruit into, and perhaps a better position to negotiate fairly with very large players.
After 40 years in the industry, Peter understands why some growers are trying to get out.